Welcome to Music Gear Talk. Discover the music tech that powers the biz with your host, Rodney Elliott.
Hi, everyone. This is Rodney with Music Gear Talk. We are lucky enough to have Keith on the phone. Are you there, Keith? You there, Keith? There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right.
Good.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, thanks you for coming on. So, yeah, we're really excited to hear about some of the things you got going on and some of the people you're endorsed with and gear you're using. Just kind of wanted to get an idea about who you are and what you have going on right now.
Okay. We're currently in the band called Sledd, S-L-E-D-D. They've been around for a little while. They've got 4 albums out. We just put out an album called Get Rich Quick Scheme and took it on tour last year. We opened up for the band Tesla in the South and all over, and are currently working on a video for one of the songs called Fight for the Title. And
Nice.
I'm actually really I'm excited about that video. There's a really, really cool theme. We've got this great director named Rich Bartle, and he's put out and come up with a really, really cool storyline with us, and we're attaching the whole thing to an anti-bullying campaign. So it's cool because it's a good message. It's kind of a current thing that's going on a lot right now, and basically the premise of this video is like, you never know who you're messing with. Kind of this guy ends up being a kid who's bullied, and he takes it all the way to becoming the #1 UFC champion in the world, And there's just a really cool story to the video, and we're almost done with the filming. Really excited to put that out.
Well, very cool. So you recorded the album, was it locally in San Diego, or did you guys record it at?
It was local. It was mainly recorded right before I joined the band, and but I've gone back and I'm actually doing some of the guitar tracks. So, like Fight for the Title, what you'll hear in the video is me, and we're going to re-release the album with guitar tracks from me.
Nice.
So it was recorded at Don Lithgow Studios, which is actually just north of here, technically just outside of San Diego, right off of the 15 by Lake Elsinore kind of area.
And what is the studio that you recorded at?
It's his home studio. He's got he's got this whole separate building on the back side of the house, and it's all set up and dialed in home studio. I don't know offhand exactly what board and stuff like that he has. Again, they've recorded all this right before, and I was up there one time just recently.
Totally. And what gear gear are you rocking? What's your main rig right now?
Right now, I'm playing through a Carvin V3, the 100-watt V3 head.
Yeah, I remember working with the person that created that. I actually was lucky enough to play it before it was out in the market. I was a salesman there for several years, and so whenever they were creating gear or making gear, I would go down and listen to it and play it and just kind of test
cool.
it. So, yeah, Jeff and I go back a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, Jeff Kiesel. That's very cool. Yeah, I like the amp. I dig it a lot. The 3 channels are nice.
What would you compare it to? I used to tell him if he could make an amp that was a mix between a Mesa and a Marshall, you'd have money. And that was the idea.
Exactly what I was just going to say. Yep, Mesa and Marshall. Which is perfect, too, because I play through Mesa more. That's what I used to play through.
Uh-huh.
But Mesa, it's just lacking that kind of mid-range growl.
Yes.
Kind of that Marshall got,
And I brought my Les Paul into the studio and played it because I wanted to hear where the breakup was. And we had different options of tubes with the EL34s and the 6L6s and the it's just there's different options of where it broke up and how it broke up and why it broke up in certain areas. So it's funny that me and you were kind of thinking the same way.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. And so I'm pretty stoked on it. I mean, I really like it. And again, the 3 channels is perfect. You got that nice middle channel that's got, I usually back up the gain about halfway on that one. It's kind of chill, but It's got a nice rocking tone still, but, it's not super overdriven or anything, And then the 3rd channel, of course, I pumped that one up, and then you got the boost on top of it. for soloing, and it's a really cool amp. And
what tubes do you know what tubes you have in it?
You know, it's the stock ones. I just got a new one from them. I'm honestly I haven't even popped it up and look in the back to see what it is.
It'll be an EL34 or a 6L6. It's probably a 6L6.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's obviously one of the two. But, not quite sure what's in there. And
what is the cabinet you're using? Are you using the carving cabinet?
Yep. They hooked us up with 3 of them, so I've got 3 of the cabinets and 3 of the heads.
Nice. And are you doing the carving speakers, or do you have the Celestian greenbacks, or what are the speakers that are in there?
The speakers are the carving ones, I think, right now. I think actually one of the cabinets does have the Celestians, and that's the main one that I rock. With the other 2, I think, are just the carvings. Nice,
and they make great speakers too. So they're absolutely great.
And they're engineered for each other, you know. So it works well. They marry well together.
And what are some of the guitars that you're using right now? Do you have a couple main ones?
Yeah, actually, the main ones I'm using are my own design Greenwood guitars. I just finished building a 7-string walnut Sapele body with quilted maple neck, walnut stripes, walnut binding. And the really cool feature that I like, and the reason why I built this guitar, was the fiber optic side dock on the side of the guitar that light up. And that was so essential for me, being as blind as I was when I was on tour with Tesla, and the stages go dark. It's totally different than like a little, dive bar venue place that you're playing where it never goes completely dark. The stage there went dark. And it's like, Keith, start the song, and
you have no idea where you're at. But, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, trying to find any reference at all was impossible. There was no reflection. I couldn't see anything, and it's like, again, thank God for muscle memory. So after that, I'm like, okay, I need something I can see, and just started playing around with the fiber optics and routed out the channel under the fretboard and ran them all through and connected into these little pearl side dots. And pearl's pretty transparent when you sand it pretty thin. So
and you actually installed them yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I built the whole guitar from scratch. It's all lumber, and during the build process, I designed that in there. So It can pretty much only be done the way I did it while it's being built. It's not something you can do after the fact because it's routed actually into the fretboard.
No, okay,
I think there are some kind of side dot stuff that you can get to the side of your binding, the real thin, like 10,000 thick, that you can buy and purchase aftermarket.
Right, that's the guy from Limp Bizkit, I remember, had him. He was like the first person I actually toured with that used them, and it was more of a LED light that was battery powered or something. It wasn't even totally different scenario.
Totally, and it's the same kind of thing. It's an LED that's attached at the neck where the neck joins the body, so the light itself can be replaced, and all the fiber optic runs from that all the way into the fretboard and into the side dots. And the one I have in my guitar actually changes color too. It cycles through 5 different colors in like a minute.
Nice. So that sounds like my drums.
Changing color. I wish I had a sensor that did it like on your note, like timed on the notes. That would be pretty cool. Maybe one day.
Well, that's something we'll have to help you design and be a part of.
There you go.
What made you choose the wood, though? I was kind of curious. You mentioned the wood that you used is not a normal wood. What was there certain tones and sounds, or was it the look, or was it a little of everything? What are the reasonings for where you went?
Kind of a little of everything. One of the main reasons, of course, is tone. Sapele is a cousin of mahogany. It's a little bit denser, a little bit heavier. It's a bit brighter of a tone, but still has a hell of a sustain because it's such a dense wood. And to counter the brightness, I threw a walnut top on it because walnut's a really dark-sounding wood and much warmer and darker in tone. And that balanced it out really, really well. The guitar's a bit weighty. It's like less polish, which is fine by me. I'm okay with the weighty guitar because that's where a lot of your tone comes from, And I really like maple necks. I'm a huge fan of ebony fretboards. So I went with both of those two. Ebony because it's a very dense wood that stays nice and smooth versus other woods that can kind of, over time, start to get a little bit rough, or like maple that gets dirty, or you have to finish it.
Nice.
And, yeah, that's kind of the reasoning behind the woods I chose. Walnut's absolutely beautiful, and the quilted maple and the flame in the walnut. Sapele is just pretty, too, as a wood, so I always go with kind of natural finishes. Don't usually paint.
And are you the one that actually did the finishes, and you're actually the woodwork itself? You're the person that did that?
Yeah, everything. And all the inlay work I did, one of my companies that sponsors me, Von York Strings, the owner of the company, Rosario, commissioned a guitar for me, and we designed it. He had a specific inlay pattern he wanted in mind. It was an Edelweiss flower with vines, and he wanted his company logo on the 12th fret and lit up underneath, so there's LEDs under that light up, and it also has the fiber optic side dots that light up. And very similar woods, but with koa instead of walnut, and just craziness. And that one was all hand-designed, hand-drawn, hand-cut, inlay with the little jeweler's saw. And
nice.
Yeah, so I do everything on this,
now,
which is really cool.
What do you think of the koa being hard to get, and they're saying that they're not, a lot of people aren't going to use them anymore? Are you a fan of the koa wood?
I do like koa. I have been a big fan of it since I worked at Taylor. I was at Taylor Guitars for 17 years, and throughout the time there, I got, you string up a lot of guitars with a lot of different woods, and the koa one with a nice spruce top just sounded so good to me. I always really liked the tone, and it's so aesthetically pleasing. It's beautiful wood. Unfortunately, the availability is a bummer, but I get it, and if you can find a reputable source that's sustainable, then it's gonna cost a pretty penny. So it's a bummer, but I do have a decent little stock at the moment.
Very cool. Well, we're gonna go to a quick commercial here, and we will come back with Keith Greenwood of Sledd and hear more about all the gear he's got and things he's got going on.
Very cool.
Excellent.
This has been Music Gear Talk with Rodney Elliott on the Intertalk Radio Networks. We'll be right back with you very shortly.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you have helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians, because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. Vin Village connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect. Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
music tech that powers the biz with your host, Rodney Elliott.
Hey everyone, this is Rodney Elliott with Music Gear Talk. Wanted to thank Pitbull Audio and SIR. We have Keith Greenwood from Sledd here. I'm looking forward to hearing more about what he's got going on.
What's up? Yeah. As far as the guitar, I did want to point out on the pickups that they're a new company called Tonal Concept. There's actually a friend of mine named Dave Maui that I worked with at Taylor Guitars, and he's been working with pickups and experimenting for a long, long time, I think since he was like 15.
Was it the person that, he's the one that's doing the pickups for the Taylor electric guitars?
No, actually, he worked for Taylor, but not doing pickups necessarily. He just has been experimenting and doing his own kind of thing with pickups for many years. And he used to do final assembly for Taylor, assembling the neck and the body. And I don't remember if there was any other departments he was in as far as that goes. But he's got a great knowledge of electronics in that, and winding and learning all that. And he's really, really, really good at nailing exactly what it is you want. So him and I talked for a while about tone, and he, scattered around these pickups with certain magnets, and just dialed them in, got exactly the kind of output I like, which is medium high. These are about 15, K output, it's pretty high, but it's still not so saturated like a 20K, something that you can't even hear the wood color the tone at all.
Right.
With my guitar, you can fully hear the wood color the tone, and it sounds great. The notes are so articulate the way he winds them. He's just got a knack for it, and he nailed it. And not only with my guitar, but the guitar I just built for Von York, that he just received that guitar days ago. And first thing he did was plug it in, and he was blown away at the pickups. So him and Dave talk. I made sure that those two could talk. And same thing, he nailed exactly what he was looking for in pickups. So Dave's just got a knack of being able to do what it is you like. and so I'm using those exclusively. Oh, go ahead.
When it comes to pickups, what were the characteristics that you liked? Were they a brighter pickup? Did they distort earlier? Did they distort later? Is there a low end or a mid cut? What is the actual characteristics that you were looking for?
No, the mid cut is one thing for sure. I like to be able to be articulate and not have to raise your volume to cut through or anything like that at all. And not kind of distort a little later. I like everything ringing out, and not to where it's such an attack right up in the front necessarily. And just the fact that they weren't going to be so saturated as far as sound, but still give me a nice growl. I still want a good chunk, a good, thick distortion without it so saturated like EMGs. And not to knock EMG. They're cool for what they do and all, but
sure,
they're not dynamic. I like having a real dynamic pickup.
Would you compare it to something like a Gibson pickup, or would you compare it to a Seymour Duncan? What would be a brand or type?
A little more Duncan-ish, a little more almost bear claw, or bare knuckle. I'm sorry, bear claw. Sorry, that's my woodworking side. The bear claw spruce. No, kind of in the middle between like a Seymour and a bare knuckle.
Very cool.
It's got that nice growl of a bare knuckle,
and then you were talking about strings too. I remember. What were the strings that you said you're endorsed with, and what made you go with them?
It's a company called Von York, and Von York USA. It was a mutual connection that that introduced us in the first place, and he sent me some to try, and I really, really liked them. He does a cryogenic treatment, that makes them stay elastic and bright and all that for a long time, and they feel great. I really totally dig them. As good, if not better, than obviously any kind of Diodario or Ernie Ball as far as that stuff goes. For me, Diodario and Ernie Ball are kind of the standard decent strings, and then I really liked DRs. I was a big fan of DR, and that's kind of what these remind me of.
Okay.
So that's what drew me to them more than anything else.
And what gauge are you using?
I play 10, and 10 gauge with the 7 string as well, so doing the 7 thing. So they're 10 to, I want to say 54. I could be wrong. 54 or 56. That's, the top string's pretty thick.
And then other pedals. Do you have a couple other pedals in your rig that you're really loving right now?
I do. I've got my Bad Horsey wah, which I like a lot because I love not having to click on the wah to turn it on and then click it again to turn it off. You just step on it and it goes. Huge fan of that because I do a lot of moving around, running around, and sometimes I literally make it to my pedal board just in time to touch the wah, and sometimes I'm so far away from it that just tapping on the tip of it is all I have to do, and it's kind of cool. Rocking a Digitech whammy with the harmonizer. Same one Ronnie uses. I'm pretty fond of that pedal. It's inspired me to write some songs just for the sound of it.
Nice.
I've got the Corona Chorus and the TC Electronics Flashback. Both of those are cool with the tone print. I love that option. You can actually download from your app on a phone. If you have the app with the TC Electronics tone print, you just look up your favorite artist that has that pedal, and if you like their sound and they have a specific setting, they download theirs to the site, and you just hit a certain thing, and it feeds from your guitar into the tone print and downloads their setting onto your pedal. So you have Bumblebee's reverse delay if you want it, or Bumblefoot. Sorry.
And are those cool pedals that all are endorsed with, or they're just pedals that you're a fan of that you own?
Yeah, those are just pedals I'm fond of, and went through this whole gear upgrade with a local musician you just had recently on your show, Mr. Mike Ruggiero. Sure. Both ways of pronouncing it.
Yeah.
We played in a band called Tempo Riff for a little while, and that was really fun. And we went through this whole gear upgrade. I have my Ingle Ritchie Blackmore amp that I still absolutely love. I'll never get rid of. I traded in a Mesa Boogie for that, and, well, not traded it for that, but I sold the Mesa and then upgraded to the Ingle, and love the amp. It's an awesome amp. But anyway.
That was his favorite for years.
Yeah, I remember. He's the one who introduced me to that in 2007, 2008, right around that time. I played a show, and my power amp, died on me that night, and I had no backup, so he was gracious enough to let me play through his Ritchie Blackmore, and I fell in love with that amp. Just sounded so killer.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing his new amp that he was telling us about, too. That's kind of an exciting option that he's got with his new amp that he's endorsed with.
For sure. I definitely want to cruise over. As a matter of fact, he's been enticing me recently to go jam with him again. So there's options. There's future possibilities when it comes to a new project or even revisiting an old one with those guys.
And what about some of the bands that you've played in the past? What were some of the bands that you've actually worked with or toured with or recorded with?
One of the first ones, the first one was a high school band called Garden Gate. You almost can't count that. I think we've all had those. But we did play a couple local shows. That was fun. The Spirit, before it ever became Brick by Brick, down in San Diego. And we were all like 14. But other than that, Split Image was the first real serious band that actually we put out an album called Into Another, and we unfortunately never got to tour. We were getting ready to. We had a lot of big plans. We played a lot of those shows, including Mike's band Fuse Box back in those days.
Sure.
Spun Monkey. We're good friends with Spun Monkey. Played right next to those guys in the studio. Buck 09 and bands like that, and Ghoul Spoon, I think they were called back then, and all sorts of that, which was really fun. After that band broke up, that's when I started working at Taylor. I got really focused in building guitars, and I ended up doing some recording projects with a couple guys up in L.A. Also did a band called Mickey Finn, which was just kind of a cover deal that I did for a little while up there. Decent money, it was fun, learned a lot. These guys were signed back in the day. Kind of those 80s rock stars that got signed, but then the 90s grunge scene hit, they got dropped by their label.
Right, like everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. It was unfortunate, but they were really professional. They were all about the show, and they knew about how to perform and whatnot. So me, back then, I was the quiet, shy guy in the corner with a hat on, looking down playing. And my singer kind of looked at me. He's like, "Dude, you got to kick an amp or do something, get out of your bubble there." And so he started getting me more into stage performance and understanding that side, which is ironic because I was in theater forever, but for some reason I don't know, I got my own little world of playing.
That's what happens with us musicians. We all do that. We get in our zone and I look up. I'm the opposite. I actually look up into outer space, but a lot of guitar players look down. That's just the thing they do. So do you have a couple of tours or anything that you've done other than with Sledd, or is this the only band that you've actually toured with?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a couple of mini tours, but nothing I would consider a full-on tour. So Sledd would definitely be the first one, and that was with Tesla. It was awesome for me. Tesla was one of those bands growing up, and did remember hearing those guys and watching them on MTV and Edison's Medicine and all that, Signs. And so to get to actually meet them and tour with them and play in front of thousands every night, that was a great experience. I absolutely loved it.
I'm actually looking forward to getting them on their show. They actually had a recording studio, which I'm assuming they've invested in a new one, but they had a recording studio that burnt down. So
yes.
I'm curious to know what they're doing now. Maybe I'll reach out to them again. But I actually toured with the band, and the singer was offering to take us out and do all this. So I'm actually familiar with the whole scene up there and Sacto, and there's a lot of local other bands, Deftones and stuff that I'm friends with. So, yeah, I really like it up there.
Oh, that's way cool. Yeah, I think I know Brian Wheat is the bass player. I think he's got a studio, and I want to say that's where they've been doing their stuff. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes that San Diego or just Southern California doesn't understand or know what's going on until they're actually up there and see. So there's a lot of cool stuff up in Sacto. So cool. We're going to go into another commercial here, and we'll be right back. This is Rodney with Music Gear Talk. Again, we're thanking Pitbull Audio and SIR.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
tech that powers the biz with your host, Rodney Elliott.
Hey everyone, this is Rodney Elliott with Music Gear Talk on Intertalk Radio. Wanted to thank Pitbull Audio and SIR Rentals. We definitely are super excited having Keith Greenwood online here with us.
Thank you so much. Stoked to be here.
Awesome. So yeah, and you're local to San Diego, or did you move to San Diego?
Technically moved here, but I've been here since I was 1.5 years old or so.
Yeah, we'll call that living here your whole life.
I'm close enough. Yeah, I'm the only one out of my family that has an accent that doesn't have the back east accent and says, dude and all that good stuff.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what I brought from
still...
Detroit with me, but I also from the East Coast. So do you have some tours coming up or anything that you're looking forward to with Sledd, other than I know you're saying you got the new record coming out you're excited about?
Yeah, we have. We're in writing mode right now, and just kind of wrapping up a brand new song that I think we're going to be able to introduce at a show April 15th at the House of Blues here. We're opening up for Blackstone Cherry and Red Sun Rising. So that's Friday, April 15th at House of Blues. And other than that, there's definitely going to be a tour on the horizon. Whom it's with at the moment is up in the air still. But we're going to be looking probably towards later summer, maybe even early fall. And so that's all still way up in the air. Right now, just kind of wrapping up the video and going to figure out exactly what we're going to do as far as release. There's a few things kind of being planned, but again, still kind of up in the air. So there's a lot on the horizon, but a lot needs to be figured out. So the main thing now is just we're writing. We're fully in writing mode. We've got a lot of brand new song ideas. And hopefully we'll be putting out another album at some point here in the near future.
Nice. And what is some of the gear the rest of the band's using? Bass rigs, guitar rigs, drums?
As far as bass rig, I believe that is all carbon still, carbon bass. The carbon, I want to say it's the 1,500 watt. What was it called? I can't remember. You probably know better than I do since you worked there.
Right.
But it's he's got a full carbon setup. We're using Carbon Pro Audio. I want to say the Yamaha kit that Dino is rocking. And then we've got Pete that plays through 2 Korg keyboards. And, again, Carbon monitor system and power amp and all that good stuff. So Carbon took this up pretty well. They've been awesome to us, and we're really stoked to be a part of their family and all that jazz. So,
and are you working with Jeff on ideas for guitars since you're a guitar maker? Have you been able to kind of connect with him, or does he just make guitars that you want, or how do you guys build that with your relationship?
Well, actually, it's funny that you say that. The guitar, we had talked a while ago, and I met him briefly, and we talked a little bit, and he was really busy getting stuff ready for NAMM, and so we haven't discussed too much about any kind of making guitars. He definitely hasn't done that. They've given me one of the DC7s, and that's cool. I'm definitely a tremolo player, and so far they've been having to try to figure out how to get me a good tremolo 7-string, and so that's why I ended up building my own. And so as far as the guitar side, I'm not really playing Carbon so much, but I'm definitely using their amplifier and Pro Sound. So that's why the Greenwood guitars is what I've been playing lately.
And you said you're using 7-string guitars, correct?
Yep, correct.
So are you doing the higher or the lower for the 7-string?
Definitely the lower, doing the low B.
Nice. And have you always played that since they started coming out with it back in the 90s, or when did you start kind of getting experimental with them?
That's actually been only in the last about year and a half since I joined Sledd. They have a lot of songs tuned down, and it was just a lot easier than having to convert all my 6 strings over just to go ahead and start playing the 7-string. And they actually, the 7, the Carbon 7, was already there at the studio. And so it was like, okay, well, there's a 7-string here. I didn't own one at the time. So picked it up, just kind of understood that it was a low B, and started figuring out, how to incorporate the string, and next thing you know, it's kind of what I play now. It actually feels weird sometimes to play a 6-string because I'm so used to the 7 now.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. Me playing a 7-string would just feel odd knowing that there's another string. We have a bass player here, Tino, who also understands and knows, you go from a 4, but then bass, you can go up to 6 and even 8. It's just like insane seeing some of these guys be able to manipulate their fingers around the neck like that. But hey, you said, if it's easier and they don't have to retune guitars and just be able to do everything with one, it just makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, I think 7's good. When you get up to 8 and 9, like Tosin Abasi and people like that are just insane, the neck gets so wide it becomes a different instrument altogether. It's almost like you don't even approach it like a guitar anymore.
You play it totally different, exactly.
It's its own animal at that point. 7 strings are almost that way, but not quite. It's an extension. As long as you realize, what your patterns for the low string are, and if you think about it, you already have a B on there, so you just got to kind of remember what the patterns you're playing in your scales on that string and just transmit it down to the lower string, and you're good to go.
Exactly. So any bands that you're excited about, or that you've worked with, or that have stuff out that you've actually toured with or been involved with, that you're looking forward to working with again?
Again, Tesla was one. Again, it's a very big possibility. We'll go back out on the road with them, and they still sound amazing live. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen them, to see them while you can, because they rock. They sound so good. I actually got to say I'm excited that Ruggiello's back in Fusebox. Those guys I've known forever, and back in the day I used to love hearing them play, so it's kind of cool to get to see them play again and maybe even do some shows with those guys. And even same thing with Sprung Monkey. Those guys have been rocking a lot lately, and they're doing really, really well for themselves. And there could be a possibility of a Sledd Monkey show in the future here. That would be pretty cool. Who knows, maybe even some kind of tour. You never know.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they're doing. I know they were working with a local company here, that local record company, Pacific Records, for a minute. I don't know what happened with that. And then I also know they were working with Management, which was the singer of Pennywise or something, that they were doing some stuff with. So I don't know where any of that kind of ended up. I'm curious. I haven't talked to any of them in a little bit.
Yeah, the last thing I saw, actually, they were working on the Sprung for Life IPA, which I guess is doing really well, which is cool. It's a collaboration. I don't remember the name of the brewery that did it, but
it's
cool.
One of the 800 breweries that are in town.
Exactly. You don't even know. I'm a brewer. I've been brewing beer for 24 years, and that's something I wanted to start forever ago. And God, if I had the capital, 15, 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago even, could have got it going. But nowadays, like you said, it's so saturated in San Diego, which is great. We're a huge, brewery destination. But yeah, trying to get one started now, it's like, oh, great, another brewery.
Exactly. So do you have some gear that you still have missing, that you really need, a certain pedal that you're hoping to get one day, or is there a different amp or a guitar that you'd like to possibly have at some point or have created, or what are some of the wish lists?
It is actually funny that you say that. Lately, being at Sam Ash now, I have access to so many makes and models of guitar, and I've been playing the Majesty, the John Petrucci Music Man Majesty, and there's something about the guitar I really, really like, and one of the things is that it has a piezo, and the piezo itself, when you click on just the piezo, of course, it's got the very, really, really good acoustic sound. It's a single piezo for each string. So it's very dynamic, and it fully does sound acoustic for being a shredder guitar,
Wow.
But the cool thing is, too, is that you can actually blend the piezo with the humbuckers. So you can put it onto distortion, but if you want, you can get this cool, rich overtone to the top of it by having that piezo blended in with it.
Kind of like a Godin, cool. It sounds like, possibly.
Exactly. And then you can click the piezo off. Of course, you got your normal humbuckers, but then it's all push pots instead of the push pulls. So when you want to split your coils and do phase and all that other stuff, it's just a push once and a push again to stop it instead of having to pull it up. So there's a lot of features about that guitar that's like, wow, this is actually designed for a player, like full on.
Interesting. And do you have any other amp other than the awesome Carvin that you're rocking? Is there other acoustic amps or metal distortion amps or even a classic rock amp that you'd like?
I've been become a huge fan of Black Star amps.
Yep, know them well.
Yeah, you know them well? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm digging the tone. We have a few at our shop at work right now, and every chance I get, I'll plug in, and wow, they have a really killer tone. And so I'm a pretty big fan. Other than that, I like Wagner's design. A little out of my price range, unfortunately, but one day. Pretty big fan of his work. Pretty much everything that I've ever played through with his name on it sounds amazing. So I'm a huge Wagner fan.
Yeah, I'm also a big fan of, and I spoke to him at NAMM about Jerry Cantrell and where that ended up, and he said, he just wishes him luck with whatever he does. And I discussed just the different characteristics and tubes that they use and why they do what they do. And he was telling me that he tried to do something a little different. So we're looking forward to seeing the new versions that he has coming out sometime soon and having them on the show.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Very cool.
So where do we go from here with your band? Are you right now just rehearsing and getting some stuff? Do you have any other shows coming up within the House of Blues?
There's a benefit show for a friend of the band's that passed away recently that we're going to be doing April 2nd. And I want to say that's at the VFW in Lakeside.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to go to one more commercial and be back. This is Rodney Elliott with Music Gear Talk on EnterTalkRadio.com. Who would again thank Pitbull Audio and SIR Gear Rental.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Welcome to Music Gear Talk. tech that powers the biz with your host, Rodney Elliott.
Hey everyone, this is Rodney Elliott with Music Gear Talk here on EnterTalk Radio. Again, wanted to thank Pitbull Audio and SIR Rentals. We got Keith Greenwood here. Are you there, Keith?
I'm here.
Perfect. So we actually got a message from a listener named Bryce who they just kind of wanted to know how you got to where you are now and how you're able to have accomplished being, you know, a Steve Vai Shredder of the Year award. And we just kind of want to know how these things happened and, you know, how did you get where you're at?
That's a good question. Thank you for asking, Bryce. Well, I guess the best way to say is just a lot of, you know, over the years, I was lucky enough to be born into a musician family, so my dad was playing and showed me how to play some stuff when I was really young. Played multiple instruments. By the time I was 10, picked up guitar. And that year that I picked up guitar, just after Ronnie came out with Surfing with an Alien, my dad brought that album home, and I heard that guitar and just fell in love with the way he vibratos and slides into notes and bends notes and all the little, you know, nuances and inflection that he has in his notes, and just kind of studied that. And whenever I would play, I would just listen to his music and try to figure it out. And a lot of practice. Over the time, 10, 15 years, I just sat down and listened and learned every song of every band I've ever thought of and heard of and, you know, loved at the time. And, you know, back then mainly metal, but you know, eventually I grew into other styles. And that's actually one of the key things, I think, is being able to listen and incorporate a lot of different styles into what you play. And nowadays, whenever I teach or talk to anybody about music, it's, you know, no matter what you play, if you play metal, if you play this or that or whatever, learn everything that you possibly can. Even if you only want to write a metal song, if you learn jazz, if you learn other world music and other styles of music, you can incorporate different techniques and different things into your own music and, you know, throw some of that into your metal song, and then all of a sudden you've got this new sound of metal that nobody else has, you know. So I don't know. That's one thing I think I've always liked to do is just to try to learn a lot and incorporate a lot of different styles and techniques into what I play. And just got lucky as far as you know, the whole competition with the Steve Vai thing. That was a really cool experience. Started off at the Sam Ash store up in Westminster. We had a competition in 2010 for, you know, Steve Vai, Sam Ash guitar competition nationally, and that one was a weird one. 4 rounds across the nation, ended up tying for first place, and, you know, ended up going to the guy from New York, that one. But then they had another round of it in 2013, and in that round, actually was able to win and open up for Steve Vai here in San Diego, and that was just a really, really cool thing. And one other quick piece I'll throw on that is that one of the things that they judge during those competitions, not only your showmanship on stage, as I was saying earlier, I had to kind of learn and realize what I was doing and, you know, put on a show on stage, but also the creativity in what you're playing. It's called Best in Shred, but you don't want to just sit there and shred notes after notes super fast and arpeggio after arpeggio, and it's just a ridiculous blah of notes, you know, at that point. You always want to think about a melody, and that's one thing I did is I wrote a melody, and I built on the melody, and I kept it a song. And one of my favorite players, Tony McAlpine, was the judge, and he commented on that, which was amazing for me. Straight up said, hey, I felt like I was at a show listening to a music piece, not judging a competition with your playing, and I thought that was cool. So
yeah, you couldn't get a bigger compliment because a lot of people go after just shredding. I have a personal friend,
exactly.
Greg Vaughn, who he's also won the Guitar Center. Yeah, and, you know, he can just hold a conversation shredding up and down. But when it came time to be an actual, you know, person in front of judges, you have to do something musical. You have to do something entertaining. There's all these things that they're looking for. They're not just going, oh, that guy can play, you know, every scale, and that guy can just go right into other stuff. They actually want to be entertained.
Exactly.
And a lot of people, they're absolutely amazing. They have horrible timing, or they're not able to actually entertain. But the reasoning is that's a part of what all of us performers are. We entertain. So I definitely want to kind of find out, where do we find Sledd. Where do we find Keith Greenwood? How do we? Where are the websites, and give us some URLs of how to find you and hear your music and things that you're doing and have done in the past.
Okay. First of all, there's sleddweb.com, SLEDDWEB.com. Anything Sledd, and is in the process right now of getting updated. That'll be on there. There's some songs you can hear from Reverb Nation, I think is even on there. Links to that. You can also find Sledd on Facebook. Keith Greenwood also on Facebook. Keith Greenwood Music on Facebook. I did have a Keith Greenwood Music website that needs to be, kind of revamped and up and running again, so I'll get that up soon. I'll also be putting out a Greenwood Guitars page on Facebook as well as a website soon. And once that's up and running, I'll have links on my Facebook pages to Keith Greenwood and Keith Greenwood Music that you can go to and navigate to. So all kinds of information and music and all that stuff. I've got a bunch of videos and things on YouTube. Personally, Sledd does as well, and I do as well. So if you type in Keith Greenwood, you can see even some of the Sam Ash competitions, as well as the show that I opened up for Steve I is on YouTube. Some stuff like that. So yeah, pretty much those places are the best places to go, and from there you'll find new stuff to navigate to.
And the Greenwood guitars, even though you said you made your own guitar, are you actually going to manufacture and make guitars for other people too? Is that what I'm understanding?
Which I have already quite a bit, but it's never been 100%, an official thing, and I would like to start that, I think, at some point. And, you can definitely get a hold of me if you're ever interested in a piece, and, as far as that goes. But, yeah, at some point I think I definitely would love to have a little, shop other than, even if it's just in my garage to start, that's cool. But I build ukuleles as well. I have a small mini guitar that I've designed, acoustic guitars, and then my electric guitars that I've designed.
And do you think you're going to keep working with the same pickups? Or do you have other pickups that you think you're going to add? Is there special woods that is going to be your signature for your company? Are you going to just make custom guitars for whatever people are looking for? I mean, do you have like a direction of something that kind of will have your name on it and a part of your signature? They'll know it's your guitar when they see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely my body shape and my headstock shape that are a little bit unique. Inlay work and things like that I'll do. Pickups, definitely tonal concept I love, and I like that I can connect the customer directly with the guy who's winding your pickups and really get a feel for what you want in pickups.
How do we find them?
That's kind of a tonal concept. Right now, it's just a Facebook page, but he's doing the same thing. He's building his business, so eventually it should be a full website and all that good stuff. But you can definitely go to Facebook and look up tonal concept pickup. Or Dave Maui. Dave Maui the third, and that's M-A-U-E, I believe. M-A-U-E is Maui. So,
and then the strings that you use, how do we find those strings? VonYorkUSA.com. And he's got his page up and all the information, how he treats the strings, the different artists he has and whatnot, it's all on there. I believe he has a Facebook page as well, so you can go to Von York on Facebook and check him out there. And then we have
Carvin. Yep, Carvin USA, I think, .com, as well as CarvinGuitars.com. I think they also have Carvin Amps or CarvinProAudio.com or something like that. There's a bunch of different links for Carvin.
Maybe we'll even see
they can go to
a Keith Greenwood special amp at some point there, maybe.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. That would be pretty cool. Definitely wouldn't mind that at all. Yeah, so, we'll see how things go here in the future. But I'm definitely excited. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Excellent. Well, we really, really enjoyed having you on our show here. We're looking forward to hearing all the new stuff that you have coming out, and hopefully we'll all come out to your shows in the future. Definitely, anyone who's listening, feel free to contact Keith. He would love to hear from you and make you some of the raddest guitars on the planet.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thanks again for having us. We really appreciate having you on the show.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm stoked to be here.
Take care, brother. So, yeah, this is Rodney Elliott with Music Gear Talk. You're listening to Inner Talk Radio, and we want to thank Pitbull Audio and SIR Music Rentals.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.